This is a much requested video. We're going to be talking about the AeroPress. These are great devices for making coffee. The easiest way of describing it is like a syringe. You put coffee in and then you dispense it out into the cup. The kit that I've got came with all sorts of things, including these really handy paper filters, and it's really the paper filter that gives the AeroPress its unique taste. I find the AeroPress produces a very smooth, crisp roast. Whatever bean we're using, we tend to get very mild results out of this. If you use a cafetiere, for example, which is the closest similar thing to the AeroPress, you'll notice you get a lot more oil and a lot more complexity that muddies the overall flavors of the coffee to some extent. Let me know if you prefer that to the AeroPress or whether you use an AeroPress yourself. We're going to talk about two methods of brewing as well. Firstly, let's just look at the AeroPress itself. It comes with a handy little spout, so there's no need to actually spill the coffee everywhere when we're putting it in. You've got a handy scoop. We're aiming for a heaped scoop for most coffees, but again, adjust that to taste. The temperature of the water we're using needs to be about 80 degrees. And if you've got a kettle that's got a temperature control on it, that makes the job a lot easier. You could always boil the kettle and add about 20% cold water from the tap, and that'll get fairly close to the 80 degrees. The actual device itself, you've got a little plunger that goes in here. The filters pop in the bottom, so we take that little mesh, we put the filter in, we just clip it onto the bottom like so. We place that over the cup, get some coffee, probably the most important thing. So a nice heaped spoon of coffee. Always be generous with your coffee. This is the traditional AeroPress method. So it's this way up. There is an inverted AeroPress method where you would insert the plunger first of all, just like so. You would then invert it, take the top off, and you put your water in and stir it. Now, the advantage of the inverted AeroPress method is it gives you a chance to stir the coffee and develop flavours. When it's the other way up over the coffee, it starts dribbling out and you have a little less control. It's fairly subjective. Let me know if you prefer the inverted method or the standard method. I prefer the inverted method. I find it easier. It allows me to have more time to concentrate on what's going on. And we're just going to pour some water in there. And we're going to use the AeroPress stirrer, just to make sure that's all nicely mixed. The instructions say to stir it for 10 seconds, however long you stir it for. Again, that's a matter of taste really, and it probably depends to a large degree on the beans. So we're going to put this on. Remember, if we do it the other way around, you'll already have this on and it'll already be over the cup. So we just flip that over. You'll notice it is starting to dribble out, which is what would happen if you didn't do the inverted AeroPress method. There's not much water in there. I've done that deliberately for this one. And we're just going to press down. And you can see there's a bubble of air that's actually pressing against the water, and that gives a really nice extraction. Experiment with different amounts of coffee and different amounts of water. It's going to affect the overall flavour that you get out of this at the end. But you can see there, I've got a really nice strong espresso, and in terms of flavour, yeah, that's really good. It's smooth, it's mild, it's crisp. And this coffee I tend to use a lot for espresso in the espresso maker. When I put it in a cafetiere, it is quite oily when it comes out and it has a bitter note, which is completely lost with the AeroPress, which is often down to the paper filter that we're using. So thanks for watching. Please let me know if you use an AeroPress and if that's your preferred coffee brew method. I know that a lot of coffee shops are also offering an option for AeroPress coffee, so it's something that really is gaining popularity. This is a trend that started many years ago, but people are just waking up to the possibilities of the AeroPress, and people have used it for a cold brew method as well, which again is interesting, and that's something I'll cover in a future video. So thanks for watching. Please boot the like button if you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Again, that helps us to get out there. And I've lined up this video and this playlist that you should find really interesting. Thanks for watching. See you in these next videos.